Drake's shocking downfall has just sent shockwaves through the entire hip-hop world. Reports are flying that the Canadian superstar has been arrested and sentenced to 10 years in prison after allegedly assisting Young Thug in a federal case that's been haunting the rap industry for years. What started as a rumor has now spiraled into one of the biggest scandals hip-hop has ever seen. And fans across the globe are demanding answers about how someone as untouchable as Drake ended up behind bars. The word first broke when insiders close to both OVO and YSL began whispering that Drake's name came up during a confidential investigation into the ongoing YSL case. At first, everyone brushed it off as another internet hoax, something people made up to grab attention. But then the tone changed. Late-night posts started disappearing. Legal insiders began hinting that a major artist was facing sentencing connected to Thug's situation. And then, all of a sudden, social media exploded with the shocking headline, "Drake arrested." Nobody could believe it. Drake, the same man who built an empire off smooth lyrics, luxury, and endless wins, now being linked to federal activity involving one of Atlanta's most controversial figures, Young Thug. It sounded impossible, but insiders say the case runs deep, and this isn't something that just happened overnight. They say Drake's connection to Thug stretches far beyond music, and the help he allegedly offered wasn't just about friendship or loyalty. It was something that got federal attention. Please do not forget to like this video, share, and subscribe to this channel if you want more updates like this. Thank you. Now, let's get back into the video. According to these inner sources, the feds claim Drake may have provided resources or information to help Thug during his probation, something that investigators are now framing as interference with a federal case. No one knows the exact details, but the seriousness of the charges is what's shocking the most. 10 years is not a light sentence, especially for someone who's been seen as the face of success, discipline, and control. It's the kind of news that makes you question everything you thought you knew about the rap game, because if Drake can go down like this, anyone can. And what's crazy is that this didn't just come out of nowhere. There's been quiet tension between Drake and certain authorities ever since he started showing more open support for Young Thug after the YSL trial began. He'd post messages, send love, even call out people in the industry who turned their backs on Thug. Fans thought it was just loyalty, but now people are looking back and wondering if there was more happening behind the scenes. Did Drake really step too deep into something he couldn't control? The story gets wilder when you consider how Thug's own situation took a dark turn. His probation was recently revoked, leading to another arrest, a decision that many fans had felt sudden and unfair. But when news broke that Drake was being tied to helping Thug during that same time period, the pieces started connecting in a way nobody saw coming. Was Drake's involvement what triggered the renewed federal interest in Thug's case? Did the authorities decide to make an example out of both of them? Nobody knows yet, but what's certain is that this is shaping up to be one of the most dramatic legal moments in hip-hop history. Fans have been going absolutely wild online. Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram are flooded with videos, threads, and breakdowns of every tiny clue that might have hinted at this moment. Some are bringing up Drake's old lyrics, claiming he's been subtly talking about this storm coming. Others say this is all part of a bigger industry plot, that Drake's arrest is more to do with power, control, and silencing influential figures than any real crime. There's even talk that Drake knew this was coming, with a few anonymous insiders saying he wasn't surprised when the sentence came down. That's the thing about fame and power. The higher you climb, the more dangerous the air gets. Drake has been on top for over a decade. He's never lost a public battle, never really had his empire shaken, until now. The irony of it all is painful. A man who spent his life controlling his image now can't control the narrative that's spreading like wildfire around him. 10 years behind bars would mean the end of an era, not just for Drake, but for the entire sound and structure of modern hip-hop. People are asking questions. Where was his team? How did this happen under everyone's nose? How does someone like Drake even get tied to something this serious? The truth is, when federal investigations expand, they start pulling strings that connect people you'd never expect. And when Young Thug's name was at the center of one of the most publicized cases in music history, anyone close to him was bound to face scrutiny. Drake's loyalty to Thug, which looked admirable at the time, may have been the very thing that led to his downfall. It's also being reported that Drake's legal team is working around the clock, trying to appeal the ruling, arguing that there's been a misunderstanding. They claim that the so-called assistance was misinterpreted and that Drake never knowingly interfered with any legal process. But until more official details come out, everything remains uncertain. Behind the scenes, Toronto is said to be in shock. Drake's mansion, usually buzzing with music, guests, and parties, has reportedly gone silent. Close friends and family have gone ghost, refusing to speak to reporters. OVO affiliates have been locking their socials or deleting old posts, possibly to avoid drawing any attention from investigators or the press. It's the kind of silence that tells you something serious is really going on. Meanwhile, Young Thug's name is trending again, but for all the wrong reasons. After his probation got revoked, rumors started spreading that he might have reached out to certain people for help. People with power, influence, and reach. That's where Drake's name allegedly enters the picture. It's being claimed that he might have tried to smooth some things over, maybe by connecting dots or offering advice that cross legal lines. Of course, these are just claims, but when the feds get involved, they don't move without paperwork. Some fans say the whole thing feels too coincidental. Others are certain it's another setup, that Drake is being used as a distraction while something even bigger brews behind closed doors. Industry conspiracy theories are exploding, with people saying that big corporations are cleaning house, trying to humble the most powerful figures in hip-hop to remind everyone who's really in charge. Still, even with all that noise, one thing is clear: this moment changes everything. Drake wasn't just a rapper. He was the blueprint for global success. He had partnerships, endorsements, influence that stretched across sports, fashion, and culture. 10 years in prison doesn't just end that. It sends a message to every artist watching. The same system that can lift you up can take you down just as quickly. The emotional reaction from fans has been intense. Some are crying on live streams. Others are in disbelief. There are protests starting to form online. People demanding transparency. People saying free Drake, like he's already a martyr for something bigger than himself. Even other celebrities are starting to post cryptic messages, as if they know more than they're willing to admit.